Good afternoon. My name is Jennifer, and I'm here to talk to you about A Better Blackboard by Group 3. First, I'm going to start off with introducing our team and telling you what everyone's role is. This is John. He's our communicator. He keeps us on track with any kind of due dates, and he takes care of posting everything to Blackboard. He also fills the role of writer number 2. He researches what does and does not work and what the problem is. This is Jeremy. He's our final editor for our paper. He fills the role of writer number 3. He takes a look at any kind of solutions we have and what it takes to get them done. And again, I'm Jennifer. I'm the APA expert. I take care of any kind of formatting for our paper, make sure we don't have any kind of plagiarism issues. I fill the role as writer number 4, title page, cover page, introduction, and conclusion. Of note, we are a group of 3, so we are all sharing the responsibility of writer number 1, and that's the background and content of the problem itself. So what is the problem? As group 3 sees it, the problem is that Blackboard users are frustrated, both students and professors. Students are finding a lack of standardization when they go from class to class. And this is leading to assignments, quizzes, and tests not always being easy to be found. Professors are struggling with the fact that there's no real training when it comes to setting up the system, and that there's already high demands on their times when it comes to setting up for a class and taking care of the assignments for the class, that they don't have time to figure out a program. So the question we came up with is, can Blackboard be more user-friendly for students and professors? And then, of course, would it be worth even implementing any kind of changes? So we took a look at who the target audience is. As we see it, the target audience is anyone that's wishing to further their education, whether that is someone that doesn't live close to a campus, or someone that lives on campus, and then the professors providing instruction both face-to-face and online, just because nowadays, just because you take a class and you sit in the classroom does not mean that you still don't have to interact with Blackboard. We got a hold of a Boise State Census report from October 15th, 2018, and it shows that in the undergraduate program alone, for fully online students, that population grew at a rate of 85.9% over the last 5 years, 21.2% over just the last year. When we took a look at the hybrid, where you'll go to class one day and then do an online class the next day, those students grew at a rate of 11.1% over the last year, 33% over the last 5 years. So when you're looking at your traditional brick and mortar students that go to a classroom, that population only grew 2.4% over the last year, 1.8% over the last 5 years in the undergraduate program. So from what we have found is the significant population growth is those that are taking these online courses. In the graduate program, the in-person students actually saw a decline over the last year in their population. Their enrollments dropped 5.7% last year. Whereas the fully online students grew at 17.4% over the last year and 68.1% over the last 5 years. That's a significant increase in the graduate program, and those were the fully online students. So to us, this seems that if there's a problem with Blackboard, it probably should be addressed because that's where your main population growth is. So we reached out to some fellow students, a couple professors, and a testing center employee to find out what they had to say about Blackboard. And so we have a few testimonials here. One professor could be quoted as saying that there's no real time or there's no real training on Blackboard, but there is an amazing help center, but it boils down to time. The UF program gives us shells already made, but within a certain department, it's up to me. So what she has to do is she has to figure it out. When it comes to students, one student I interviewed said, sometimes I spend more time looking through Blackboard for an assignment than I do actually on an assignment. She told me that she had one quiz that she knew she had to do. It took 10 minutes to do the quiz, but it took a half an hour to actually find it. Then I spoke to a testing center employee who told me that students that come into the testing center sometimes get frustrated because they can't find their test, especially from a certain department. They're never in the same place. So the student starts their test frustrated. That doesn't sound very conducive when it comes to me. So we look for some examples. On the left, I have an example of one course that's set up by week. Week 1, week 2, week 4, week 5. This can all be found under the folder called course content. Whereas on the right, it's set up by modules. So everything under a certain module is module 1, module 2, module 3. The problem is you might start a module in one week that goes into the next week. All of this information is under the course content under a subfolder called modules. So even here, you can find they're under different folders. So I was like, well, maybe this is it. So I looked for other examples. On the left, in this econ class, you can see that everything is set up by week, but it's under a folder called assignments, not under the course content folder. And then another example is on the right, where a biology class, you go into the class under Blackboard and you have to connect to a completely different program called Connect LearnSmart, where there's a whole nother program you have to learn, not just Blackboard. So we thought about it and we're like, what are some possible solutions to this problem? Well, first, what we would like to see, or what we think would help improve efficiency, is standardized layouts. If we're going to use the course content folder, make everything under the course content folder, not under the assignment folder, not under the module folder, everything under a course content folder. Second, we thought maybe a use of hyperlinks under the introductory for the week. Give a list of everything that's due for that week and a hyperlink that gets you to where to submit the assignment. That way, no one runs the risk of missing an assignment. Third, what about a notification system when something's due? The university can send you an email when you have finance papers due or when you have a meeting with your academic advisors. Why can't it send you an email when you have an assignment due on Blackboard? Also, we thought maybe an index style location to all applicable documents for anything that is due. So what would it take to implement all these solutions? Manpower and money. First off, we thought a good pool of manpower would be developing an intern program at Boise State University. These individuals could work directly for each department head, and they could build shells for every class that the department offers. We thought this would be appealing to any kind of future teachers or professors that are being educated at Boise State, any future information managers, or anyone seeking the leadership certificate, because they will be working for a department head. Now, interns are both paid and unpaid. We feel that they should be paid. We think this would cost approximately $435,000 for one semester. At 20 hours a week for 15 weeks, according to the Boise State catalog, there are 200 fields offered at Boise State University. Times all that by minimum wage comes up to $435,000. But we feel once the shells are set up, they're set up. It simply comes down to a management. So we just need to set up the program and then they'll be set up. Benefits from setting up this program would be that we were giving back time to the professors to focus more on educating students and the tasks related to the classroom, whether it be meeting with students to offer guidance or going through the curriculum that they're teaching. Also, this will offer experience to the interns, something that they can put on their resume. So when they do go out to the workforce, they can say, hey, I have experience setting up blackboards, setting up these shells. And then finally, and most importantly, the students. With a growth rate of potentially 85% over the last 5 years of fully online students, it would be more user-friendly as that population continues to grow. So we feel that would be a huge benefit for Boise State University. So in conclusion, we talked about, can Blackboard be more user-friendly? And Group 3 seems to think it does. It can be. We feel that implementing changes would be important because of the growth rate of the population at Boise State University. And the problem is that students and professors are frustrated when it comes to Blackboard. They're frustrated because they're spending a lot of time and it's not a very user-friendly program. Possible solutions are standardized layouts, hyperlinks under introductory folders to all assignments that are due for that week or under that module, notifications of impending due dates, and all of this can be set up with the development of an intern program for students to work directly for department heads to set up shells under Blackboard that would be handed off to professors when they're asked to teach a course. Again, my name is Jennifer, and on behalf of Group 3, I'd like to thank you for your time. Good evening.